All right, what up, though? What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Detroit Lions Weekly for the last day of January 2025, the 31st, man. Shout out to the three people we got in the chat. I know this is like an impromptu stream. I was going to do it yesterday, but I had to go to the dentist, and the dentist, I had to do a lot yesterday. Last 3 days, I've been out with doctor's appointments and such. So, yeah, that's where we at now. But shout out to the folks in the chat. We got Terrion says you slipping. I'm not sure why. David in the building said, what's up? What's up, man? How are you? What's up? Lupe says, hey, I have a question for y'all. Do you think DC is going to take over the play calling for the offense? Kira, hey, says, hey, Derek, how you holding up? Ready for this offseason? I am good. I hope you're well. You know what? I'm lying. I'm good, but I'm not great. This offseason has been really tough for me. It's been tough for me. I've had to sit back and evaluate my fandom. I've had to evaluate, do I want to continue this YouTube channel? And even after the massive support of all you guys, I've had to really still battle with the fact that if my passion goes, then I go. This channel, doesn't go, but somebody will take over. Do I want to continue doing this? And it's been tough. It's been tough. And I can kind of feel not the SOL coming back, but a Derek that just is no nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It's like where I just don't want to hear it from anybody about anything when it comes to this team. They have to get better, and there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And that's why I addressed this and I named this stream, will the Lions have an excuse to regress in the offseason? Because we've had that enough. But I hope you guys are doing well. And maybe I'm still mourning. Maybe I'm still in the mourning period. But I'm excited on the other side, too, because there's a couple pass rushers that I got my eye on that I hope that the Lions are looking at as well. So I know that was a long answer, but it's the truth. John Doe, what up, what up? Going to a Pistons game. That's what's up, man. Hopefully they win. Shout out to Cade Cunningham. Went to his first All-Star game. So that's fantastic. Pistons are on the way up. What's up, Waymo? What's going on, Fresh and Fly? What's up, nephew? What up, Seth? Hey, D, I hope you're doing a watch party for the draft. You know where it's going to be at. I want to do a watch party for the draft, D. I'm still in the process of kind of figuring out where I'm going to reach out. There's not a ton of sports bars. I did see that, what is his name? Shoot. The guy that used to work for Woodward Sports, the Detroit Lions player, it's on the tip of my tongue. Joik Bell. That Joik Bell has a sports bar, but it looks kind of high class. So I don't know if they would do some type of watch party from there. But I am going to reach out to a couple places and see. I got 3 months to do so, D, but I definitely will let everybody know. What up, Darren? What's going on, man? I also want to let people know that if you go to my community tab, you can see that YouTube is beta testing a feature that I think is super cool, and it is the fact allowing people to just post on my community tab and start a discussion. It doesn't have to be me doing it, which is super cool. The only caveat is you have to be a subscriber for 1 week, which was the maximum amount of time. I would have made it as if you had to be a subscriber for a month. I would have let that, because I want real loyal people to be able to control that and post discussions over there. I do have ultimate control. I'll delete any type of troll comments or post or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully YouTube likes this and they offer it full time. But I like it, man. What's up, Mark? What's going on? All right, so man, you guys heard the news already. Tanner Engstrand is officially gone. Now we have a total of 7 coaches that are no longer with the Detroit Lions, and we're going to take a look at those coaches now. Now, again, Detroit Lions Weekly typically happens at Thursdays at 4, but Thursday I had a literal dentist appointment at 4:30. Coaches the Lions have lost so far. Benedict Snake is now the head coach of the Bears. Aaron Glenn is the head coach of the New York Jets. The passing game coordinator is now the Jets OC. The defensive line coach, Terrell Williams, is now the Patriots DC. So you can see right now, and I don't really blame these guys. The next step up after OC or DC is head coach. Antoine Randall L. has now basically made a lateral move and got a mini promotion with assistant head coach. And so that means that my guess is that him and Liquid Snake had a really solid relationship That's what I think. Assistant QB coach JT Barrett is now the Bears QB coach, and Steve Hyden is now the Jets offensive line coach. In addition to that, my comments have been blowing up on my last video about Scotty Montgomery interviewing for the Cowboys defensive coordinator job. So you're talking about 7 guys. Patty says you act like Dan Campbell is not replacing coaches. Patty, that's not what I'm acting like, bro. That's not what I'm acting like at all. So Patty been rocking with me for a long time. That's not what that says. If you're talking to me, Patty, that's not what that says. That's not what the stream says. The title of this stream says, do the Detroit Lions have an excuse to regress in 2025? Because I already know what's going to happen. Lions fans are going to find a reason for us not to go to the Super Bowl next year. Last year, it was we're rebuilding. This year, everybody got hurt. Next year, it's because we lost 7+ coordinators. So that's not, I'm asking the chat, do you think they'll have an excuse for 2025? Because I know how Lions fans work. They always find a way to cope with what they lost. A production says, no, they do not. We have the same players. Do you think there's more behind the scenes rolling than just better opportunities? Chris, I don't know. I want to say no. Benedict Johnson Snake. Benedict Johnson Snake said that there was no issue between him and Campbell. I mean, I get that we've been good, and I think what really hurts this team is the fact that it's very rare that 2 coordinators get taken the same season, right? So you got one coordinator that's bringing 3 people with him. You've got the other, and usually it stops there. Maybe a person or 2, a coach or 2 goes to a different team. But now we have, outside of those 2 coordinators that have now become head coaches, we've got other people. Scotty Montgomery, potentially. We've got Terrell Williams, went back to his dude to have a better opportunity. So I don't know. We got a dono, 199. Says JG won the quarterback contest. I saw that. I was going to make a video about it, but I was like, you know what? I'm tired of defending Jared Goff. Jared Goff was the most accurate quarterback in the Pro Bowl games. Listen, I'm convinced now. You know what? Where's my pen? I need my pen. Hold on, y'all. I need my pen. I'm like Troy Aikman in the booth. Hold on. I'll use this. This dry erase marker will be my pen. I see why people use pens in the booth. Will E says, no excuses. The goal is the same. No excuses, win or lose. Patty says, not talking about other people that get on Dan about the new. Okay. Hey, D, I'm not surprised that Tanner left because we hired his replacement. Yeah. How do we know that Benedict Johnson, not the next Josh McDaniels? We don't know that. I can't wait to see it. Golf is the only reason we got so far. Hooker couldn't have won 15 games. You know what? I need my pen. Because I need to write that down, because I saw a trade suggestion that Hendon Hooker be traded. And I will tell you that if the right trade capital was offered, I would trade Hendon Hooker. I really would. You're not going to get anything for him. You're not going to get a higher than the 3rd round pick. Nobody in their right mind is going to give you any substantial capital for Hendon Hooker. So that's why he wouldn't go anywhere. But I saw it and I was like, anything less than, I don't know. Because Hendon's not going to play for the Detroit Lions. He's not. He's going to wind up leaving in free agency after his rookie contract, if he doesn't, go and play somewhere else, as far as like maybe the UFL or some type of other league. I hate to be like this, but it's just the truth. Bold take. The Detroit Lions will have a better defense than offense next season. That is a really big take. Number one offense, that's going to be hard to do, bro. That's extreme. That's like ultra bold, but I like where you're going with it. Agree with Hooker, trade if the price is right. Hooker was a 3rd round pick. You're not going to get that for him. I'm not going to take a 7th round pick. At the same time, if you gave me a 5th round pick for Hendon Hooker, I would trade him. I would trade him because Hendon's going to walk in 2 years. Unless the Lions, who don't franchise tag people, they're not going to franchise tag him. Hendon Hooker will not. He's not going to be here. So if you can get something for him, I would trade. You're not going to get what you pay for him, that's for sure. Spirit of Detroit in the building says, I'm convinced Lions fans don't want a Super Bowl. They just want to be relevant. Win 12 to 13 games and have a division title and lose in the first round. They have proven this over the course of 2 weeks. Spirit, I agree with you 100%. Most of them, 100%. I think just like people are saying that we don't know how to act having a good team. A good team equals losing good coordinators and team players and all that stuff, which is true. It's true. And I think this year hurts really bad because we got both our coordinators hired. Both of those guys are taking guys with them. And then you got the guys that have nothing to do with those guys going elsewhere. We just found out Scotty Montgomery may go to the just interviewed for the Dallas Cowboy. I'm like, yo, what is happening? And in a way, I guess I understand, because if you become a coordinator, you're probably you're going to start making moves to be a head coach. It's very rare that a passing game coordinator becomes a head coach. Like, that's extremely rare. So I get it. Opportunity, if the opportunity knocks, you got to answer the door in some regard. But I agree with you. And that's why this stream was not going to be about excuses. But about 5 minutes before I made the title, I was like, yo, we need to talk about this, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And you guys are not going to like this. What's up, Jane Doe? You guys are not going to like what I'm going to say. What's up, Aaron? Says, yo, Grid, what games are you for sure confirmed going to this year away games? I'm thinking of going to Minnesota, Kansas City, got sickness, and the D.C. airport isn't trustworthy. Okay, Aaron, are you saying that you went to Kansas City and got sickness? Because that's the number one place I'm going. Kansas City was awesome. Assuming it doesn't rain, which kind of sucks because I won't know what the weather is like. So if it's not December, January, I'm going to get my ticket. The first place I'm going is Kansas City. The second place, I can't remember. The third place on the list is if Stafford stays in L.A., I'm going to that game. L.A., I can't wait to go. I got a homie there that we can go, and I told him the next time I come back, he said the next time you come back, we can ride it's a trail on Venice Beach that's 26 miles. He was like, yo, we can ride this trail. He loves to walk, and the dude is like a skinny beam. He takes, 30,000 steps a day. The dude is a walker. And he was like, we can ride this trail and go up where since the fires have been, I don't know how that's going to be. So that's going to be intriguing. But that's probably the number 3 place. I forgot where number 2 is. So Kansas City for sure. What's up, Denzel? What's up? What's up, bro? I was just about to reach out to you, man. Trade Hendon Hooker to the Jets. What do you think about that, Derek? You know what? If Aaron Glenn called, and you know what, bro? You might have just given me a video idea, real talk. If Aaron Glenn called and he said, listen, we'll give you a 5th round pick for Hendon Hooker, I'll take that deal. Hendon Hooker's not going to play. We can get any dude. We can literally roll with Fromm. We can roll with, they're going to be a couple guys that I think are going to be backups that we can snag. I mean, to me, it's a win-win situation. We get a 5th round pick, or whatever we trade, or we have him on the roster. He was not ready to be the backup quarterback. That's why Teddy Bridgewater was brought in. I told y'all that. You can see it in preseason. You could see it at training camp. Hendon Hooker is not, and if you don't play, unless your name is Tom Brady, if you don't play, you're not going to get better. Who gets better by not doing what they do? Nobody does that. There's how many backup quarterbacks come out and steal jobs? There's not many of them. Tom Brady is probably the best one of them all. There's not a lot of them, right? So you don't get to get better by not doing the job that you're supposed to do, which is one of the kind of the knocks on the NFL for not having a backup league. I saw something about the Lions only being able to afford 2 to 3 starters, J-Mo, Kirby, Hutch next season. Okay, Will, what do you mean? Like, do you mean they can afford those and they can't do anything else? Or what do you mean? Darren says, got to resign Hutch is priority number one. I agree. But I also will say this, D, if I'm Hutch and the Lions offer me 20-ish million, I would say, you know what? I'm a bet on me. Let me ball out. Let me do everything I was going to do in 2024, and let me get that $35 million contract. If they're making me the highest paid defensive end in the league, I take it. If there's anything less than that, if I'm not number one with the upside of Hutch, 24 years old, he was no doubt going to win Defensive Player of the Year. He might have broken the sack record. I mean, dude was on a tear. He was on an absolute tear. Then I take that deal. If they're not going to make me the highest paid defender in the league, I'm not taking it. I saw that there was a high amounts of tuberculosis breaking out in Kansas City. I say, oh my God, wow. Well, hopefully that's not the case a year from now, but that is kind of terrifying. Minnesota is great, bro. I would go there as well. I'm trying to go to outside of like LA and Kansas City. I'm trying to hit every stadium. So what I would love to do is I would love to go to the Baltimore Ravens game. Baltimore, Washington Commanders, those are on my list if I can afford. However, I am on the season ticket wait list. If they call me, then that might change plans a lot. That might change because I'm probably looking at $4,000, right? So if that's the case, I will be going to Kansas City, and that's probably it. And maybe SoFi. Let me see. What's up, RP? What up, Dark Saber? Hey, Dark, appreciate you using the community tab, man. I was telling people about it before you got in here. I think it's super cool. It's only a beta test. So hopefully it sticks around, or when they do remove it, that it comes back, relatively quickly. I thought they were working with 50+ million in cap space. They are, Chris. They are going to have, I want to say 60 something, which puts them, I want to say top 10 in cap space for 2025. Do you think there are any players that would be team players that would stay even if they would not be able to pay them that much? Oh, absolutely, man. I 100% think that. If he has already said he wants to be back. I'd stay away from flying into DC for a while. Yeah, you know what, Q-Ball? I'm kind of on the fence. The only reason I would go to that game is because, Commanders, blah, blah, blah. But their stadium is trash. I don't know if I want to do that. I was thinking about maybe driving to Maryland, right? Let me see. What's up, Sports? What's good with you, man? Hey, Derek, we should do some kind of bus so we can all go away games. What do you think? That would be cool, man. But, I was thinking about that. But I'm like, I don't know if I want to be responsible for the people on that trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go on the trip and something happens, then I'm liable, right? Somebody going to be like, man. So I would have to have a waiver form. And so it's a lot. Now, if we did some type of carpool, like we all followed each other, that would be a lot different. But I'm just a little nervous about doing that. What's up? Laquita says, hello, Derek. Do you think the Lions are going to keep Carlton Davis? That is a really good question. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about that. I am going to probably make a video about that. I don't know. I don't know. But let's jump into this, okay? I want to have a conversation because I want to know your thoughts. And that's one of the reasons that I went live today, because I didn't know if I should go live, being as how it's the end of the week and blah, blah, blah. But I want to have a discussion. Here's my thought process, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. What you think about my thoughts and what you think as well. Brad Holmes. I don't know about Dan Campbell, but I could see it. You know what? Brad Holmes. We're going to focus on Brad Holmes. The reason I say that we're going to focus on Brad Holmes is because I think that Dan Campbell has done enough through 4 years that there's really no question on whether he can get the job done, in my opinion. I think outside of a few bonehead calls, and if you look at 2024, it wasn't a lot of them. Most of the bonehead calls went on Ben Johnson. Solid liquid as snake. I need to burn that name out of my head. But when it comes to Brad Holmes, I have a serious question. This is my thought, and you tell me what. I know Lions fans. I know most of them. I know that SOL is PTSD, and it's going to take a while to get out. It really is. It's going to take a Super Bowl win to totally get rid of any trails of SOL. Not necessarily in your fandom, but in others. So here's my thought. And this is what I know people are not going to like. Brad Holmes has 2 seasons to get to a Super Bowl, or the fan base, not all of them, they will start to turn on him. If the Detroit Lions do not make a Super Bowl, they don't have to win it. They just got to make it. If they don't make a Super Bowl in 2 years, this fan base, you're going to see them if it doesn't happen earlier. Because Brad Holmes, we never talk about Dan Campbell during the offseason, and we never talk about Brad Holmes during the season. This is his time to shine. Is he going to do enough to make our team a contender, to keep our team in the same contention they were in 2024? Nobody's asking for a 15-2 record. I could care less. First seed was great. It was awesome. Been there, done that. I'm trying to win the Super Bowl. I'm trying to get to it. That's my number one goal. It is nothing else. Number one goal. And to get to a Super Bowl, you're going to need a defense. 10-hour drive to Minnesota, not bad. I have family there. Yes, the Minnesota drive is decent. For me, it's about 9.5 hours. It's not too bad. The kicker was I went to Kansas City, which is 10.5 hours, and that was tough. That was a tough one. It was tough because the night before, I did not sleep. And I said, Derek, you can never do this again. I did not sleep. I was so excited. And my dumb behind gets behind the wheel, and it could have been really, really bad. Thankfully, it wasn't. So I told myself, I said, okay, Derek, you're just going to have to leave whenever you get some rest. So if I can't sleep, then I can't go. So I need to at least get a power nap. And once I fall asleep and wake up, I'll go after that. So, or take a bunch of melatonin and actually fall asleep. But yeah, it's not that bad. What's up, brother man? Boots, what up, what up? RP says, my 81-year-old dad wants to go to the Super Bowl, even if the Lions aren't there. So I will be down there wishing the Lions made it. Thanks, Benedict. Okay, so wait a minute. You're going to the Super Bowl, bro? Like the actual Super Bowl. What's up, Silent? Says, I've been watching you for a while, and I love how honest you are about the Lions, even with all the coaches leaving. I still think we should be in the playoffs at the lowest, and Dan, we trust. Thank you, Silent. I appreciate the kind words. And, yeah, I mean, how much do we regress? How our defense has been top 5 with Benedict. What is it going to be with John? How far are we going to come down? I'm going to tell you what, I don't care about that stuff anymore. I don't care. I don't care about the record per se. I mean, I want it to be good enough to be in the playoffs. I really don't. We can be the 7th seed. I don't care anymore because it does not. Once you get there, it doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you what the reality is. Man, I'm kind of getting a little nervous because I don't believe in superstition. I don't believe in karma, stuff like that. I do believe in stats, though. And what the stats say is that the Lions, they're going to, man, they almost need, okay, man, it's all of this stuff rushing my head at the same time. And let's focus on Brad Holmes. C. Poole says, if Brad has another offseason like 2024, he needs to go. Why? Hey, Poole, you've been dropping some heat about Brad lately. I think it was you. It's been a lot of Brad criticism as of late. Man, RP says, yes, I'm heading down there. Wish it was a Lions celebration. Man, that's awesome. Enjoy it, bro. I had a ticket to go, and I would have been prepping to go right now. Like, I can't believe it, man. That's crazy. I don't know how many times I'm going to get that opportunity. What's up, Steven? Says, if Ben Johnson couldn't get it done, Tanner could never. It's as simple as that. These guys are leaving are beneath the ones we are hiring. That's facts. Yes, I'm happy with 1-6 record and a playoff run this year. David says, hey, Derek, I don't know if the fan base would turn because they always talk about he is the GOAT when it comes to drafting, and they really only look to the positive things he's done, not the negative. Amik Robinson, Carlton Davis, and Tim Patrick are the main players I want to be back. Okay, Tim Patrick, Amik is under contract, I believe, right? I think he's under contract. I think we signed him to more than a 1-year deal. Carlton was a trade. That's why I want to talk about Brad Holmes. Carlton Davis is going to be a coveted free agent. They're already talking about places he can go. Jacksonville Jaguars. He can go to the Las Vegas Raiders. He's going to be a hot commodity. One of the top corners in free agency. Mind you, the Detroit Lions traded for him on a 1-year deal. This is after or before they drafted Ennis Raestraw and Terrion Arnold. I think we can all admit that Brad Holmes, and this is why I'm so heavy on him, Brad Holmes has neglected the defensive line properly. Aleem McNeil may not come back until the middle of the season. What does that mean? That means that we've got to have a void. We got to fill his void. Now, you guys all know there's one man. There's one in a world where there's one man that should fill this void, in my opinion. Who do you think that man is? Who should fill the void left by Aleem McNeil? Put it in the comment section. I won't speak again until the right name is put in there. Denzel in the building. That didn't take. Y'all know me so well. Broderick Martin. I saw somebody had the nerve to say that this was his breakout year, that we haven't seen enough of this guy to already call it DOA. I guarantee you, Broderick Martin is not going to take a leap in year 3. I'm calling it done right now. I guarantee it. I guarantee Broderick Martin is not going to turn around at all. So now I'm at the point where, what is it? Does Brad get another defensive tackle? Does he get another one in free agency, in the draft? And there's some guys coming out of this draft, man. There's a couple I wrote down: James Pierce, Mike Green, Jack Sawyer, Michael Williams. I don't know if we're going to be able to get those guys. I don't know if we're going to be able to get them. So that's why I want to bring this back to Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes, can you believe it's already been 4 years? Can you believe that Brad Holmes, I believe, got a 4-year contract, and Dan Campbell got a 5-year. They both got extended, 1 extra year. In 2 years, tops, this fan base will turn on Brad Holmes if the Lions are not in the Super Bowl. It's point blank. This fan base is going to start treating Brad Holmes like the 49ers are treating John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. You don't believe me? I'm telling you. Come back to this video in 2 years if the Lions don't make it to a Super Bowl. If they make a Super Bowl, it'll buy him, say, 3 more years. Lions make, but they don't win. If they win, go. He can stay here as long as he wants. If they make it to the Super Bowl, he'll buy himself probably 2 to 3 more years. If they don't make a Super Bowl in 2 seasons, this fan base will begin to turn on Brad, because winning covers everything. Winning it all is all that matters. Progression is what matters. And here's another thing, bro. I be coming with bars. I be coming with bars, right? Because think about this. Why are you buying into Brad Holmes? Why are you? I can tell you right now, most people are going to say, oh, because he drafts so well. Because the Lions have progressed every year, except this year. We progressed in the record, but we regressed in the distance that we went to. When that starts to plateau and we don't go any further, or we start to drop, because what happens next year if the Lions don't make the playoffs? What happens next year if they get bounced out in the wild card round? What happens if they get bounced out in the divisional round? Is your patience for Brad Holmes going to be the same? Everybody in here is going to say no. That's why. And all these flaws, all these mistakes that Brad Holmes, everybody makes them. Nobody is perfect. Trinity Benson, mistake. Trading for, where we at? Not Terry Arnold. Broderick Martin, massive mistake. Absolute whiffed, miss. Then you have Trinity Benson. Well, I already talked about Trinity Benson. You've got Carlton Davis. These moves that seem like, what are you doing here? Why did we trade for Carlton Davis? If we did Brad Holmes think we were going to Super Bowl? Like, think about it. Last year, we didn't really think about this. We traded for a guy for a 1-year deal. That is called a loaner, ladies and gentlemen. That's called a loaner. But we don't want to trade for a pass rusher for a 7-game loaner? Like, what are we doing here? So I'm only saying what you guys are thinking, and you might not want to say. And a lot of these content creators are not going to tell you this. They're not going to tell you this. Where we at? What's up, J Rod? What's good with you? I need one of them 3 M's this offseason, Max, Miles, or Mac. You know what, John? I think Mac is the most probable solution. We ain't paying him $20 million a year. That ain't happening. But I think Mac is the most probable solution. I have some friends at the Senior Bowl. Draft is packed with DT and Edge. That's true. Shout out to my guy, Broncos Syndicate saw Brad Holmes at the Shrine Bowl. Well, not the Shrine Bowl, because no, the Senior Bowl is this week, right? The Shrine game. He was down there. And I'm like, yo, we had just lost. Like, we literally just lost, and Brad Holmes was down there. Speaking of me going somewhere, well, Brad Holmes going somewhere. Since I'm the basement general manager for the Detroit Lions, I am going to the NFL Combine whatever day the defensive line is showing out. When they're working out and going through their drills, I will be at the Combine. So I'm looking for that. RP says, the problem is we can't imagine something better than Brad and Dan. What's up, Cola? But why is that? Why is that? Why is that? See, because the bar was so low with Matt Patricia. The bar was so low. So anybody is better than Matt Patricia. And I'm not trying to knock Brad Holmes. I want y'all to understand that. But what I'm trying to say is, as a fan of the Detroit Lions, we are here all the time. We have seen our team go through different phases, different regimes, different everything. These players, these coaches, these general managers, they have no law. They get to move on. Dan Campbell is awesome. He played here before, but they get to move on. When they go, we stay. If the team was sold, we would still be Detroit Lions fans. Fans got it the worst, in my opinion. So the bar was set so low with Matt Patricia that anything these guys do is better. With that being said, we are a better team. They are better in every way. The reality of the situation is this. You don't get to coach for 20 years, the same team, without results. You don't get to coach. Look at how the Patriots did Bill Belichick. They were both ready to split, but they have fallen off a cliff. Done. 20 years, dynasty, done. Andy Reid, he was winning in Philadelphia. He just couldn't win it all. Got rid of him. Now he a dynasty, right? He's what we're aspiring to be. You got to be able to win. But then you got the flip side. You got Zach Taylor with the Cincinnati Bengals. They can't seem to get out their own way after making the Super Bowl. You've got, who else? Who else can get? Look at Nick Sirianni. This dude been to 2 Super Bowls in 5 years, and he was about to get fired just because of his attitude, right? This is a case where his performance, his coaching ability, I guess, saved his job. You got to look at the big scheme. And Brad Holmes is talking about all of this stuff about the Lions are doing this. And okay, fine. There comes a time that you have to do it. That's it. It's called, you know what they say. Either do it or get up. It's one or the other. Brad Holmes he's entering that point this year, I promise you. The Lions get bounced out. Do I make a Lions draft prediction? I don't. I just do whatever mock drafts people do because we don't know what this guy's gonna pick. The only guy that I really was pounding the table for was Hutch, and I was so happy when we took him. Okay, so Scotty Montgomery is staying. Wow. That's right. I thought it was weird that he was going to be the offensive coordinator. Okay, my phone is charging. Thank you. Scotty is staying. Dallas has hired Arizona Cardinals offensive line coach Clayton Adams. Well, there you go. Hey, Derek, I bet you any money that Brad Holmes is going to bring back Davenport. That is a real. Do you think the Lions should bring back Davenport? Hey, Derek, I like how you standing up. You have that voice for us Lions fans. Well, here's the deal. And this is the honest truth. I'm a fan. That's what I'm a fan who wanted to talk about the Lions, created this whole thing. Number one, independent, no matter what some other people might try to say, they are powered by a massive digital media space. I'm not, right? I got here by being a fan. I got here by keeping it real. I got here by being disliked. My goal is not, I love the fact that you guys rock with me as much as you do. Like that, but that also is telling that, like, there's a particular content creator. They don't grow. They talk Detroit Lions. They do not grow during the offseason. Their time to shine is when the season is here because they stream games, and that's where all their subs come from. I watched this creator last year. This particular creator did not move 100 subscribers in the entire offseason. They're not relatable, right? You guys, as much as you cannot stand me, I'm relatable. That's what this is about. So I will never be, no matter what happens. I'm supposed to be talking to a guy later today, hopefully about an investment opportunity. See what that, but no matter what happens, I will never ever be anything else. I will be 100% a fan of, and if I ever retire from this, the person who takes over this channel will be 100% a fan. It's not going to be anybody else. Do you think they re-signed Derek Barnes? I heard that Aaron Glenn looking at him. I mean, when this is all said and done, the Lions could lose 15, 20 between coaches, coordinators, and players to either Benedict or Aaron. B-Love says, I'm okay with the 10-win season, but healthy playoffs. Now, this is why my attention is directed at Brad Holmes and nobody else. It is his job. He had no control over the injuries. It is his job to give our team the best chance. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Lions were humbled this season. Brad was humbled this season. Last year, what was the number one thing? Not 2024, 2023. When we went to the NFC Championship game, what was the number one thing everybody was saying? It was the number one phrase everybody was using. The Lions are a year ahead. We shouldn't have been here in the first place. Nobody expected us to be here. I think that Brad Holmes he's probably a super nice guy, real talk. But he kept using the word humbled in his press conference. There's a reason for that, because he got humbled. He got humbled. He said that he had to trade for a pass rusher. He had to, which tells me that he felt it was no other choice, because in the offseason, he didn't do anything. He brought in Marcus Davenport. You can't be serious and think that Marcus Davenport was going to do anything substantial for this team. You can't tell me that with a straight face. And the reason, what you hear me say, ladies and gentlemen, is that I have never changed. Brad Holmes, it's not me telling you that this is going to happen because I want it to happen. If Brad don't get this thing together, the fan base will begin to turn. He will go from, in Brad we trust, and you can't trust the fan base at all. Remember, in Patricia we trust, in Quinn we trust, we just trust everybody. I'm not like that. I saw something. I was playing a game yesterday, and it said, question everything except nothing, or something like that. And I was like, I love that. I need to write that down, because that's the way I feel. Always. You can always be learning and stuff, but question everything. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? What is this about? Lions Syndicate, my dad and I will be rocking custom Lions t-shirts at the Super Bowl saying, wish you were here. That's what's up. Hey, make sure you email me a picture. I want to see that. Keep Brad Holmes if we stay consistent. Okay, keep Brad Holmes if we stay consistent getting into the playoffs, right? That's up to you. That's up to you. What fan are you? Are you an enjoy the ride fan, or are you winning matters? Because that's what I came to realize this season, is that a lot of people who are Lions fans are in it for the experience. They're in it for the experience. Think about tailgating. There are people who drive hours to tailgate. They set the tailgate up. They rock, and win or lose, they're in Ford Field. They don't care. We'll get them next time. I'm here for the journey. That ain't why I'm here, dog. I'm making YouTube videos for passion. I have a goal. I have a goal. I have an end game with this. I'm trying to create a business. I'm not here to just be like, but if that's you, that's cool. That ain't me. I don't do anything just to do it. If I play a game, I want to win. If I make a video, I want it to hit every time. I don't just, come on, man. So, if that's you, that's cool, but that ain't me. That ain't me. I want to win. I want to say that we were the champions of the world. I'm thinking about this. The Lions had a real opportunity to win a Super Bowl last season. meaning 2 seasons ago. I keep saying 2 seasons ago. They blew it. And I said that we were going to lose if we lost. It was because we couldn't get to the to the passer. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Gave up 17 points. Jared Goff was flawless. Matter of fact, he was probably the high point of the game, him and Jameson Williams. We lost. We lost because we couldn't stop a runny nose. And I'm going to say something else. I gave the Lions too much credit this season. I don't think we beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think we beat them. I got to keep it real. I don't think we beat. If we would have beat the Washington Commanders, we don't beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Our defense wasn't good enough. It was one of the things where it's staring you in the face, but as a content creator, as a Lions fan, I got to talk about some things. We don't beat the Philadelphia Eagles. We don't. I'll be here no matter what, but Detroit needs to win. I think go Lions, we all are. I mean, for me, here's the deal. When I say a fan, like I talk about this team every single day, and that's my choice. When there's something to talk about, I talk about the team. When it ain't nothing to talk about, this year I'm going to be a little different. I'm going to chill. I'll make videos when I feel like it, stuff like that. But I talk about this team every day. Between the fan base, the comment section, it gets old. I just got tired, man. Plus, like I said, I had a physical manifestation of my emotional despair. That's never happened to me. And I had to sit back and say, hey, Derek, is this worth it? Is it worth it to be so stressed out about something you can't control? Fresh and Fly says, I think if you swap this year and last year, our perspective of our trajectory as a team would still be trending upwards. But after the changing in coaching staff and loss of players, it's hard to see. Pressure on Brad and Goff next season. Got to throw Goff in there next season. Okay, listen. Mega Hustle 313, appreciate you, bro. I do. Goff is under contract for at least 3 more years. His cap hit is ridiculous. He might be under pressure, but he's also not going anywhere. So I don't understand. How is Goff under pressure? Why did he come into this conversation? I don't understand this. Goff, okay, Brad Holmes signed him to a massive deal, so therefore, this is about Brad Holmes, bro. I don't understand why we got to do this. Why do we just keep doing this? My chat is frozen. It's frozen. What's up, D. James with the dono? I appreciate you, big dog. Says, good evening, Derek and chat. Only one to watch. You doing live stream of the Super Bowl. I am not watching. No, I am not. I am not watching the Super Bowl. I'm a man of my word. I did not watch the NFC or AFC championship games, and I am not watching the Super Bowl. I will have the Kansas City Chiefs winning because the NFL is going to wear them out after this year. Here's my prediction for the NFL next season. You will see 2 brand new teams in the Super Bowl. It's going to be 2. It's not going to be the Chiefs' reign of their dynasty is not over. This is but I don't think that they are going to be as powerful as they are after this. Once you make history and be the first team in NFL history to win, as my chat disappeared, that was super freaky. Wow. Man, hold on, y'all. That was super freaky. Okay, it might be time to upgrade my memory. That was when your whole screen turns white. Hutchinson says, I've been doing the journey since DC and Brad Holmes got hired. That journey has reached its destination, and now it's time to win it all, and they're on the clock. Well, listen, you are fortunate, my friend, because you haven't seen nothing. You wasn't there for 0-8. That's crazy, but welcome to the club, man. Antonio says, it took me days just to talk to people because I knew the script was BS. Wow. Laquita says, Derek, I agree, Derek. We weren't going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, watching the team, I don't think we would have done it. The offense would have had to be flawless. We would have had to stop Saquon with no Aleem McNeil. The defense, we lost Amik Robinson. If we would have squeaked past that game, I think the Eagles would have beat us. And before that game, I was like, man, we can beat the Eagles, bro. Like I thought home field advantage was going to be a big deal. Home field advantage was like, meh. The Lions gave us after the score was 7-3. Washington comes down. We go 3-0. And I'm gonna tell you, if you go to a Lions game and you're at Ford Field, if the Lions go 3 and out on the first possession, and it depends on what, like 3 and out, it's like a bad sign. It's like we did it with Buffalo. I mean, it was just atrocious. That's how it was this year. Like, you come out, you go 3 and out. Terrible. I'm taking the fam RV camping Super Bowl Sunday. Don't need to watch the NFL give the Taylor Swift trophy. Yeah. J-Rod says, don't be a racist. I don't know what that means, bro. What in the world does that mean? So being a racist, how? How is that? What are we talking about? Winning 3 times in a row is not even fun. And Marlon, that is why the NFL is going to move on from the Chiefs after this year. Mega Hustle says, yeah, Derek, I'm just a golf doubter after witnessing him losing to 2 rookies in back-to-back playoffs. How did he lose to? He didn't lose. What are you talking about, bro? What? Oh, hold on. What are you talking about? We lost to Jaden Daniels, which they're literally calling the greatest rookie quarterback of all time. Not me, their words. And who is the other rookie? Brock Purdy was not a rookie. So I need clarification with that. You are so right. I was at Buffalo game and the crowd was right out of it. I'm not doubting Goff. It was not all his fault. What's up, Lori? How you doing? Says, I keep seeing that the Lions might get rid of Aleem McNeil. Have you seen that? Lori, that would be extra dumb. He just signed a massive contract last offseason, literally in March or April or somewhere around there. That would be dumb. And if Brad Holmes does that without, he needs, I mean, we would have to wonder what is he doing. So that there's no way that would happen. Derek, Dan needs to defer when winning the coin toss. I hate him taking run. I think he does. When they win, well, no, they do it occasionally, but I think it depends on their opponent, man. They'll defer. But when we go 3 and out, man, it's a wrap. So Purdy was not a rookie. Edge rushers are stacked in this year's draft. We need edge rushers, says Juan. I agree, man. How did the NFL and Giants allow the Eagles to get Barkley? Yeah. Someone came up with that saying we were thinking of offing Anzalone. I just laughed. Goff is the best pocket QB by a mile. You guys should be more grateful for having the best QB in the league. Need an edge rusher in the first round. Okay, got a question for you. Let me ask you this. This is going to be good. What if? See, I don't got to. I just, you know what? Y'all remember, what's the dude's name? Talk show. Robert is not Robert Downey. What is the guy's name? And his icon was a mouth. It was in the late 80s. He was super controversial. Not the dude that got hit in the nose with the chair. Not him. His first name was Robert. I'm like that dude. Morton Downey. Thank you, Lori. I knew his last name was, I thought it was Robert. Okay, so I'm thinking of Downey. So the dude was, that's me. That's me because I just talk. I don't control the team. I'm just a talker. But I'll be right, bro, because here's what's going to happen. Let me ask you this. What would you do if Brad Holmes, let's say this is our offseason move. We re-sign Marcus Davenport and we do absolutely nothing at edge rusher, or we don't take an edge rusher to the fourth round. I don't think we have a 4th round pick. We don't have a 4th round pick, right? So if we don't take a edge rusher in the first 3 rounds, or I can't remember, it's 1 pick we don't have. What would you do if Brad Holmes if he does what he did last year, this year? Let's say in free agency, it's this cornerback, just nothing but cornerback. He re-signed Marcus Davenport. Emmanuel Mosley, he's done. He's burned his second chance. What would you do? What would you say? What would you say as we're going into OTAs? Midas Touch says boycott. After Goff is off the Lions, do you prefer a mobile quarterback or pocket passer? Isaac, I prefer a winner, bro. Whoever can help me win. That I don't care, bro. Because all of this mobility, where we at, y'all? Come on, y'all. What are we doing? I'll be dropping bars, bro. What are we, all of this mobility, who don't, Jalen Hurts, and you can call Jalen Hurts mobile. I mean, okay, fine. All this mobility, probably the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL are at the crib. They went to Cabo, then they went to Cancun, now they're at the crib. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson Wilson are at the crib. You just need the right circumstance. Matthew Stafford is not anywhere close to a mobile quarterback, but everything was perfect for him to win. People talk about, it's funny to me, people talk about how things had to be perfect for Jared Goff to win. It had to be perfect for Matthew Stafford to win. Let's not forget about that. You got safeties dropping interceptions, game-sealing interceptions. You got blown coverage on from the defending Super Bowl champions on Cooper Kupp. You know, don't forget, Cooper Kupp was the Triple Crown winner that season. Come on, y'all. That's crazy. So I just want whoever they think is the best player. It doesn't matter. If you got a pocket passer, make sure you have a stud O-line. Your O-line got to be flawless. You see what happens. Graham Glasgow blew his block. Goff fumbled, game-changing. And let's not talk about when Goff threw the interception, the pick six, that the same dude that jumped over the pile or the line of scrimmage, Lutu or whatever his name is, he smacked him in the head. Should have been a penalty. Should have been a penalty. Pick should have never happened. Game changed after, So it is what it is. We need 4 DEs in the draft. Bruh, I'm not even mad at that. This is what I would do. I would go get, I know Brad ain't going to get Josh Allen. No, I'm sorry, Josh Sweat. So here's what I see. Brad Holmes, if Khalil Mack is not asking for too much, bring in Khalil Mack. And here's another reason why we got to talk about Brad Holmes, right? Brad Holmes, I used to call him Mr. Allen's, 29 or 2 for 50. I used to call him Dollar General. Then he showed me, hey, I can throw out massive contracts. But yet, then he gets back to, okay, you get what you pay for. You pay for Marcus Davenport, you got Marcus Davenport. You pay for DJ Chark, you got DJ Chark. DJ Chark was on IR most of the season. He played, how many games? He was on IR for 4 games or something like that. And DJ Chark admitted he wasn't the same with the Carolina Panthers. He wasn't the same with the, where was he at this year? Chargers. Brad gets what he paid for. So if Khalil Mack is asking for, you gave Marcus Davenport 6.3 for 1 year, $3 million guaranteed. The dude played 2 games. He played 2 games. Let's not, okay, so he got judo chopped in the second and the third game. Don't forget, he missed the second game. He wasn't even for an injury that had nothing to do with the tricep. I'm just saying. Charlie says, forget that grit. We need to hire some talent. What's up, Ms. D's? All right, so answer the question. If Brad Holmes did the exact same thing with the 28th pick or whatever, we take a cornerback or we take something other than an edge rusher at 28. Brad has shown that he'll trade up to get the person he wants. What if Brad Holmes focuses on the secondary, this free agency in the draft, and he re-signs Marcus Davenport as his defensive line move? And we got the nerve to talk about cutting Zadarius Smith to have him re-sign to save money. If I'm Zadarius, I don't know if I take that. I'd be like, well, you signed Marcus Davenport coming off a season injury. If I'm Zadarius Smith, it ain't no way. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. You traded for me. There's another year of my contract. I'm going to say no. You traded for me. I'm going to use the fact that I am the second leading pass rusher on the team as leverage. And I don't think Zadarius Smith would be wrong for doing this. What do you guys think? Do you think Zadarius Smith would be wrong if he said no? If they asked him to restructure, he said no. Do you think it would be wrong? I don't. Not when you signed Marcus Davenport, not when you had to trade for me. There's no way. What are you talking about? I led the team after Hutch went down. Why would I take a restructure? What are you talking about? No, I'm not doing it. I would be furious, bro. He would be stupid. So here's where we at. I don't like D. Smith. He's overrated. Zadarius Smith? I don't think Zadarius is overrated at all. He came in and did exactly what we needed to do. He did exactly what we needed to do. Zadarius Smith would be wrong to say yes. I wouldn't even be a dirtbag. I say, Brad, listen, man, I love being on this team. I love the fact that y'all took me out of that dump that was Cleveland, and I appreciate you. But I'm not going to take a pay cut. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. You traded for me at the pay. I was your second leading pass rusher. You traded for me at the end of the season or in the middle of the season. Why would I take a pay cut? You knew that when you traded for me. Why would I do that? And then if you don't like it, then so be it. You got to pay for my service. Just like now, man. Listen, I ain't even trying to be funny, right? I get almost 1 million views a month. And because I'm becoming a businessman, if you want me to promote any product of yours, you're going to have to pay me. That's it. And I'm not going to push a product that I can't stand behind. But I was watching a podcast that had Mr. Beast on it the other day. It's two gentlemen that they have them on the show all the time. And they got their Shure microphone. They got it blacked out that you can't see the advertisers. They're not promoting nothing for free, right? It's just business. So on a business level, I'm not giving you a discount. When I was your second leading pass rusher and I came in the middle of November, like, come on, man. There's no way. So you're going to have to make do. That's it. A dual threat QB is trending right now, so I can see why the fans want one. But there's more than one way to win a Super Bowl, guys. Pocket passing is a lost art. That's 100% facts. Steven S. says, we do not need a pass rusher without a fast linebacker. Wow. Okay, Steve. Oh, wow. So yeah, I disagree. I see what you mean, but how many? I see. Yeah, man. I know. I can't do that. I can't do that. I know what you mean. And Alex Anzalone, who's the fastest linebacker on the team, probably, missing him was a big deal. But at this point, you've taken Jack Campbell. You knew he was slow when you took him. You knew Jack Campbell was slow when you took him, 18th overall. You got to get an edge rusher. You have to. There's no doubt about it. Clown move from Brad. It says, how can you talk about the D-line and not be worried about another DT? It eliminates going to miss part of next year. That only leaves Reader and Martin. Why is there no concern about DT? Trey, you must be late, big dog. Why am I concerned at DT? Because you already got your starters. You got Broderick, 96 overall Martin. He your starter. Put him in. He's starting in year 3. Bottom line. Then you go get some practice squad people to back him up. That's what Brad Holmes do. What do you mean how can I be concerned? Because of course I'm concerned. But you done already addressed that over and over. Go get Brad Holmes. He was a project. You had 2 years to get this guy together. What are we doing? Go get Christian Bohanna or Chris Bohanna. I don't know. But an edge, we ain't done that properly. Oh, don't forget Mekhi Wingo was drafted as a DT. So we got plenty of DTs on the squad. Chris Smith, DT. I don't understand that, bro. Like, what are we doing? Do we watch the same team? We got practice squad DNs on our team. And everybody's like, oh, the injuries ruined the Lions. It was only a few starters that were, well, not a few. It was half the starters, but the starters were hurt. But the starters weren't going to do nothing. Marcus Davenport wasn't going to do anything. Derek Barnes, he was turning into a solid linebacker. Alex Anzalone, depth player. He was a role player, right? What's his name? Emmanuel Mosley, a role player. We act like we lost all of these people. It was 16 players on defense, but only about 6 starters. Do we not have Patrick anymore? Patrick is officially still on the team because he was on the active roster. But come March, he will not be on the team if the Detroit Lions don't re-sign him. The good news is they can start right now, and they can start re-signing players. Well, I think it's right now. Broderick will be given pretzel samples on the concourse next year. I don't understand why y'all get mad at me. Why y'all get mad at me? Because I'm just telling you what your general manager did. I'm telling you what Bradley Mathias, Jerome Cornelius Holmes did, and I'm the bad guy? I'm the bad guy. How am I the bad guy? Because I see through it. What are we talking about, bro? Y'all was there when we drafted. Who the heck is Roderick Martin? Why is he on this team? When we needed an edge rusher back then. What are we doing? I don't even think we took one in the draft. Come on, man. And who did we bring in that year? Who did we bring in on the defensive line in free agency in 2023? Even when they let him, it's not much with our starters, really stupid. Don't kill their excuses. That all they got. We've heard Lions fans say it. We're too injured. Beat the Eagles. I'm like you. Lost to the Commanders. Brad, a joke. Hey, Brian, no, I'm a basement GM, bro. Martin is better than Warren Sapp. That's funny. That's funny in the mug. All I want to see, Brad, is address the entire line. And listen. Oh, Bruce Irvin. That's right. So here's why. Okay, we've drafted and signed a DE every single. I'm talking about. Okay. I don't have time to go through. Okay. So Trey says we've drafted and signed a DE every season. I'm talking about a DT that can provide interior pass rush similar to Aleem McNeil. Trey, we've got him. His name is Broderick Martin. I don't understand. We also took Mekhi Wingo, who was a DT, undersized but a DT. You said we drafted a DT. Matter of fact, okay, so in 2023, what DE did we draft? I'm trying to remember. All right, RP, enjoy, man. We'll be off soon. We always go long. Isaac, that's called excuse. Still I Rise says, until we get a dominant D tackle, I don't want to hear anything. Still I Rise, come on, bro. You ain't new to this. What are we doing? And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that we don't have a dominant D tackle? Come on, dog. And I'm not talking to you, bro. Come on, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, bro. It's time. Okay, this will be the last thing we talk about because we can go on forever. Last year, 2023, well, last year was now 2 years ago, we took Jahmyr Gibbs, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Most of the Lions fan base, they wanted Jalen Carter. Even with his legal issues, they still wanted Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, right now, got to be top 5 in a game, D tackle. Okay, we took Jahmyr Gibbs, not a loss. Jack Campbell, however, maybe, just maybe, let's just roll with the, you ever seen the show What If on Disney Plus? Let's do our own version of What If. Alternate timeline that Brad Holmes, instead of trading out of 6, he takes Jalen Carter, 6 overall for the Detroit Lions. Keep in mind, this is the same draft he took Broderick Martin. Pause. All right, let's go. So he takes number 6. We still have 18. We then use 18 and whatever else he got to do to jump up and get Jahmyr Gibbs. And Jack Campbell is playing for somebody else. No disrespect for Jack Campbell. None at all. Dude had a great year 2. Got to stop injuring our own players, but he had a great year 2 in my opinion. Quiet, under the radar, but everywhere. Slow, he always slow. Dominant D tackle. Ladies and gentlemen, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Our dominant D tackle is Aleem McNeil and DJ Reader. And the guy we traded up because of potential in Broderick Martin. Come on, dog. But Chris Jones, the best defensive tackle in the game, he costs too much money. Of course he does. He's the best defensive tackle in the game. How do you get the best? If you're the best, you cost money. Aiden Hutchinson about to be the highest paid defensive end in the National Football League. Why? Because he's the best. So he is going to get paid. Ladies and gentlemen, you get what you pay for. So that means that your general manager has to draft a dog defensive tackle along with a dog defensive end. We will not win anything until we get those, at least a defensive end. You know how hard it is to be a DT and get 15 sacks? Come on, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Now, would I have left Jack Campbell on the draft board for a defensive tackle like Jalen Carter? Yeah, but here's another thing, too, that we might have to start questioning. How many of y'all still wanted Jalen Carter with the legal issues? It's okay. This is a safe space. This ain't about, I just want to know. Did I know Brad Holmes was going to draft him? I had a really good feeling that we weren't. Is it time that we get out of that mode? Are the good guys, are the grit warriors? I called them grit warriors last season. And where did it get us? The first exit of the playoffs. We didn't even beat a rookie quarterback. Grit is not enough. It's not. It's a great mantra for the city. It's a great team dynamic, but we need dogs. How many people wanted, okay, Spirit wanted Jalen. Waymo, ones. So let me get this straight. Even with the legal issues that Jalen Carter was having, you would have taken him. Okay, here's another question. Hindsight is 2020. This is a real good one. This is a real good question. You have to choose Jahmyr Gibbs or Jalen Carter. Which one you taking? Knowing what Jahmyr and Carter can do, which one? Safe space? Whatever you say is your opinion. Spirit of Detroit, Jalen Carter. Okay, so Gibbs and Go Lions are on. Man, hey, yo. Hey, look, I'm asking a question. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I think it's a lot of bias in his responses. I think it's a lot of bias. If you could go back, because y'all was not, when we drafted Gibbs, y'all was still screaming Carter, right? So with the high, okay, but now you would take Gibbs. Gibbs, don't upset the offense. No, Juan, that's not the question. That's not the question. The question was not a regret because Gibbs is a dog. Carter is doing his thing. If you could do it over, even with what you know now, what would you take? Would you take Carter or Gibbs? Lester says Carter is a beast. Gibbs can be the best ever. Well, allegedly, Aaron Donald says that he's the best in the game right now. But here's the point. 42 sacks back-to-back 2 years in a row as the team is a joke. Spirit, we didn't have 42 sacks this year, my brother. We did not have 42. We had 38. 38. We had less than last year. We had 41. This year we had less. But we won more games than they. Yeah, but now they was calling because Jaden Daniels beat us. They calling him the best rookie of like all time, like the best rookie quarterback ever. And he was already doing that stuff before that, right? So, okay, let me see. One said, dang, it was something. It would be Carter, Swift, and Montgomery. Witherspoon greater than Carter. Rams got a better D-line with their late draft round picks. Let's talk about that. Okay, yeah, but the Jamel, here's the thing. We were specifically talking about D tackle because somebody brought it up in the chat, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line, the whole point of this whole stream is who does this fall on? And listen, I do not want to be in their shoes. Brad Holmes looks like he is all stressed all the time. Dan Campbell, the brother looked like he done aged 10 years and 4. I could not imagine doing what they're doing. I'm just stressed. Like, I might not even be able to live through that. That's how much this team stresses me out. I feel like one day I'm going to have a heart attack. Like, I need to, and after what happened to me this past game, I have to really relax when it comes to these games, right? But who does this fall on? This falls on Brad. It does, period. Aleem McNeil is hurt. He's going to miss half the season most likely. That falls on Brad. I mean, what do you want? It don't fall on me. It doesn't fall on me. It falls 100% on Brad. This is his time to shine. So what are you going to do? Are you going to use the approach that you've been using, which has gotten us better? But okay, Lions win. Lions go 15. They're not going to go 15-2. Let's say they go 11-6. They are the 4th seed. They lose in the NFC Championship game in 2025. How are you going to feel? How are you going to feel? Micah Parsons draft before this one, correct? Micah Parsons was the same draft as Penei Sewell. So he was draft. He was the one before Hutch. So it was Penei, Hutch, Jameer. So Hutch was before Jameer. Dan's 48. Dan could go another 15 years. Martin and Rakestraw disasters. The rest good. Rakestraw mislap. Okay. All right. I don't know. I think y'all being biased, and I think that's what you don't see from me a lot of time. I can't be biased, but I'm not biased with this. Can we really just say that? Okay, here's my thoughts. Terrion, he had a hard first year. He's got potential to be great. He had a very difficult first year. Leaps and bounds better than Jeff Okudah. Got a lot of work to do, but he's got a lot of potential. But we can't just say Vaki. All we did this season was draft depth pieces. Like outside of, we literally drafted everybody on the team. Mekhi Wingo was a 6th-round pick. Like it was almost like, we got to take these people. I think this was Brad Holmes' worst draft. This was by far the worst draft. All right, so y'all, Spirit says that's a failure. If the Rams can get a good D-line late in the draft, there's no reason Brad shouldn't be. Jamel, that is precise. It's been like that, though, bro. This ain't directed toward you. I'm frustrated. It's been like that. But Brad chooses to look the other way. He's been doing it outside of Aiden Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil. He literally looks the other way. Nobody thought Josh Pascal was going to be all that. Nobody thought Levi, another person that nobody talks about. Let's be real, y'all. Josh Pascal underperformed. Levi underperformed. We look at this stuff and we're like, oh, just because he's still on the team, Brad Holmes knocked it out of the park. Did he, though? Did he? Jahmyr Gibbs, he shut everybody up. Even when we draft Jamison Williams, I was yelling for a defense. And what happened? Our offense is number 1 and our defense, trash. Trash. I just say what I see. That's it. And you can't say I'm wrong. Dan looks older than 48. I found out my wife, shout out to my wife. She actually, she was so excited. She told me that Holly liked a comment on Instagram that she made. And she was like, guess whose anniversary it was? I don't know, because I don't know who we know that their anniversary is in January. And she was like, Holly Campbell. I was like, oh, okay. So, it's kind of cool. Honestly, does Brad even like Hutchinson like he should have gotten him some help? I made a video wearing Hutch out. Y'all was like, this is all I see in the comment section. This year, we need defensive picks. I feel like he neglects Hutch a lot. Well, once, guess what? He found out the hard way. He learned today, didn't he? He learned this year. He learned what it's like. Life after Hutch. He learned what it's like. Chase Young, Reddick, and Judon are all unrestricted free agents right now, and players you wanted in 2023 would be happy to get them now. Trade, there's no, okay, what do you mean? In the draft or free agency? Hutch fell into our lap. Matt Millen would have drafted. Yeah, I couldn't believe that, man. I remember AG was on. We did the draft, and when we heard with the first pick in the 2022 NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Walker, we was like, ah! Literally jumped out of the seats, man. It was crazy. I think it's obvious to say that Brad loves his DBs. So here's the deal, y'all. We got to wrap up the show, but this all comes on Brad. This is his time to cook. Let him cook, right? That's what y'all say. This is his time, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If the Lions, because you're not going to have a freak injury season. And this is why I was so tough on Brad last year. Last year, we walked to the Super Bowl. We were right there. Even if we would have lost, I would have been sick. But we were right. All we needed was a pass rusher that was not named Aiden Hutchinson. That's all we needed. I'm telling you, if we had Max, Miles, Bosa, we go into the Super Bowl in 2023. It was right there. He let it slip through the cracks. Yeah, our cracks. He let it slip through the cracks. And now we regressed. And now all the pressures, it ain't even on Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell has done a phenomenal job. He has. We know he's going to go for it on fourth down. It is what it is. Brad Holmes, this is all on you. This is the time that you fix this team. You fix this team. He has no choice. He's got all of these. And now we're talking about a defense. We're talking about Lee McNeil, a guy we just paid that won't be available. He going to start the season on injured reserve. So now it's time for Broderick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a Broderick Martin video. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm going to make a Broderick Martin video after this. This is all on Brad. J-Rod says B.J. Hill. Is B.J. Hill a free agent? Steven says, Steven, you seem like I'm not trying to be offensive, bro, but you seem like you just got, let me read your comment first. It says, we have Smith, Hutch, McNeil, Reeder, Pascal, and you guys act like that isn't enough. Steve, listen, bro. Appreciate your support. Thank you for commenting on the channel. I do. I love when people comment. But Steve, I'm going to say this as respectful as possible. It literally showed you it's not enough. It literally showed you it's not enough. How is that even a comment? It's not enough. How? Okay, Reeder, Pascal. We can't be serious, right? Reeder, he did exactly he did exactly what he did in Cincinnati. No complaints there. McNeil is unavailable for the first half of the season projected. Hutch, he's all we got. Smith led the team in sacks after Hutch went down. You can't be serious. That you think it's the linebackers? I mean, okay. I don't know, man. My neighbor's got a dog or something. Just, man, I wish I could move to a planet where I could just be quiet all the time. So, I was it enough? Okay, so I don't believe in calling anybody out the first round of bus. If you are drafted, like for instance, Myles Garrett has exceeded, would you say Myles Garrett has exceeded or met expectations? I'll say met them. He was a first overall pick, met him. Jadeveon Clowney, he did not exceed expectations. Baker Mayfield did not exceed. Jared Goff, I mean, to me, you're on the fence. I don't know. Matthew Stafford got a Super Bowl, lived up to the expectations, right? You got guys in the third, fourth. Max Crosby, fourth round pick, exceeded expectations. Josh Sweat, a fourth round pick, exceeded expectations, right? We got to get some impact players on this team. Freshman Fly said 7-10. Now, what if Lions don't even make the playoffs? Everybody's so confident. Oh, we have 7 staff members currently no longer on the team. Y'all don't think there's going to be any regression? It ain't like we just didn't lose Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. We lost 7 people. We lost 3 to the Jets, 3 to the Bears, and 1 to the New England Patriots. Fresh and Fly says, I would have taken Gibbs over Carter because I wanted him over Bijan, and Carter was potentially facing jail time. If we went 11-6 and lost in the NFC Championship game, I take it because my expectations are 7-10. Do you think it's safe to say, and we'll go to 1:30, to an hour 30. Do you think it's safe to say that some of your excitement for the Detroit Lions and the foreseeable, for the near future, do you think it's gone down a little bit? Do you think where would you rate your excitement and expectations of the next 2 seasons with the Detroit Lions. Because it seems like I'm hearing maybe a little bit of the bias, a little bit of the high that you guys have from coming from Matt Patricia to where we are now. I think it's starting to finally sink in, like, yo, because we've done, this year was the year. And I'm done. Can you hear the dog? Okay, good. That means this mic is a G. You shouldn't. Only time you can really hear stuff with the Shure is if it's a high-pitched sound. Shout out to this mic, bro. No, I don't have a dog, but my neighbors do. It just came out of nowhere. And it's like, would you shut up? Anyway, I love dogs, don't get me wrong, but we got these little, what do you call the little dogs? They look like little lassies. What are the name of them dogs? I hate them. I'm sorry, y'all. They just won't shut up. We got the kind of dogs that, my neighbors are super nice, but I hate their dogs. They got the dogs that are corgis. I hate them, bro. I hate them. Hate them because they just bark for no reason. I can't even go outside without, they just bark. If I pull up and into my garage and they're outside, I will sit in my car. This dog will bark at me all until I walk into my house. I love dogs. I hate them. I hate them. Okay, whatever they are, bro. I call them, they look just like Lassie, but they're miniature Lassies. But anyway, I think that some of you guys' excitement has died down a little bit. And for me, I might fall back into it like, oh, the Lions got the best Super Bowl odds. But to me, my excitement, honestly, is going to depend on what Brad Holmes does. It really is, man. If we have a free agency like we've had the past couple of years, when we don't properly address the defensive edge position, and then you couple that with the draft and we don't do anything about it, I am not going to have any, I'm going to be excited just like, oh, the season is here. But I'm going to be like, nope, we ain't doing nothing. We're not doing nothing. If we don't get a top 15 defense, we're not winning. We're going to win games. We can do that. We're not going to win the big one. I really wouldn't worry unless we start losing players. You have to believe that Dan, Brad are always going to bring in more coaches no matter who we lose. That's true. That is true. No, this one looks like the dogs, they look like Lassie, but a small version. It looks like if you took Lassie and shrunk it down. Steve says Cowboys are hiring Cardinals line coach Adam. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, bro. Yeah. Cause I was just going to talk about that after this, but it turns out that I didn't need to. Go be mad. This has to be the draft to address our pass rush. Ben Johnson putting together a strong staff. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. So it's called a miniature collie. Okay, I'm getting dog. I seen 3 names. 3 names. Trey says, I think Detroit will make the playoffs the next 2 seasons. I need a Super Bowl before I die. You and me both go. Says, first Lions game, remember, was NFC 91 NFC championship. Now I'm 42. It's time to win the big one. Willie says, if you're talking about regression, where do you expect that to happen? Like, do you see the performance of the defense, offense dropping next season? Here's what I'm saying. Go from the number 1 offense to the number 10 offense. Go from, like, that's what I mean. Like, regress totally. So you can not nitpick, but like, for instance, we had a better record, but we didn't go as far in the playoffs. To me, that's regression. Now, what is progression in 2025 would be to get further than you got the year before. Would I be satisfied with that? No. I am on Super Bowl. That's it. Every year to me is a failure unless we make our first Super Bowl. After that, I'm not going to be like that anymore. Once we make and win a Super Bowl, I'm going to chill out after that. I might bring it from like a 10 to a 6. Once we get in the history books as making a Super Bowl and in the history books of winning a Super Bowl, my life, I'm good. I'm good. Now you can cross out 2 of the biggest things that's been hanging around. It was 4 things. Somebody name the 4 things in order. See you, Steve. one thing. We'll be on for about 4 more minutes. This will be the last thing we talk about. Name the 4 things that until last season the Lions hadn't done. Won the NFC North. Last time they won was the Central. Hadn't played a playoff game at Ford Field or won a playoff game in 30 plus years. Have not won the Super Bowl, have not made the Super Bowl. Once those 2 things are done, I'm good. I've been rooting for a Lions Super Bowl since 1989. I'm 48 now. It's time. Yeah. So listen, appreciate the support. I'm not ready for the season to be over, but I'm ready for the Lions season. I wasn't ready. We should be talking about a Super Bowl. I should be preparing to go. I'm also not ready I'm ready for the season to be over. Because once the Chiefs do what they do, once Super Bowl 59 is over and we moving into Super Bowl 60, right? Now we all start over. Now we can start fixing this team. Now we have next season to look forward to, which will be this season. So anyway, appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Don't forget about the community tab that will let you, if you've been a subscriber for at least 1 week, you can start posts to start discussions. Think of it like a forum where you can put out in like Reddit or something like that. You can start a discussion and other people can comment, all right? You guys are awesome. I will catch you next time, man. A lot of stuff happening. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening. See ya soon.